Hey guys, welcome to Black United. Welcome to another video, and today is time to discuss something very serious, something that I cannot let go. It's something that is unbelievable, and I'm done taking more of this. I've just had about enough, because with the level of football that we're showing right now, it is an embarrassment. It is an utter embarrassment what I've had to read today. Pique said when he was asked about, he confessed in an interview about, we all know that he's involved in other things other than Barcelona. He owns his own club, Andorra. He's organizing that tennis tournament, the Davies Cup, that's gonna be held in Madrid. And I understand that takes a lot of him. He has a lot of investments, a lot of businesses, other than Barcelona. But what I heard today was unbelievable. But at the same time, it explains a lot, and it explains a lot of why Barcelona playing like crap, of why we training probably like crap. And like, just the audacity to admit it in public is what's got me more surprised. What Pique had to say was, I hardly get 4 or 5 hours of sleep at night. I don't have time for everything. They have understood, and there are no problems. I use my free time to dedicate myself to what I like doing. That a professional, and I repeat, a professional that is getting paid millions to play football, to play for Barcelona, that he's freely admitting this. I have no words. And I think I was very accurate in my predictions of who I thought had to leave Barcelona in order to not only make the squad better, but to, send the message to everyone that's left in that dressing room that you either train at 100% and respect the sporting model and respect the coach, or you're out. Doesn't matter who you are. And I said in that video of how I would have liked this squad to shape up for this season, included the league, but you had to do that by taking out Pique. And this is a confirmation that I was right. Or at least I think with this, I was completely certain that it was the right decision. Not everything, but at least this situation, I thought it was crucial, because this confirms to me that Pique is the leader of that dressing room. Messi might be holding that armband when we see Barcelona play, but the leader of that team is not Messi, it's Pique. The one that gets more benefited by us sitting back and letting the other teams press us is Pique, because it's much better to defend with 8 than defend with a high line and having to be focused at all times. As a center back, it's much nicer that way, right? Sitting with 2 lines of 4, sitting back in your own half, your own penalty area, that must be nice, right? But then, because you're used to not playing with any amount of effort, training with any amount of effort, or at least not with 100% effort, by playing with the law of the minimum effort, then you see likes of Liverpool, the likes of Roma, and they go ahead and obliterate you, because you've normalized this situation. And to whoever doesn't understand that how bad this is, 4 or 5 hours is enough. You probably overhear that you should sleep about 8 hours, and it depends per person. It's not something biological. It's something that ranges from 7 to 9 hours, something like that. You sleeping less than that is depriving your body of energy, and especially as someone that uses their body as their tool of work, that have to have their body at 100% to be able to be the best version of themselves in the field, to only be getting 60 to 80% of what you should be, of how your body should be, it's not good enough. And more if you are mentally distracting yourself from the real goal. And I know of situations that Pique last season went ahead and one day before a game was in Madrid or Miami doing sorting something out for the Davis Cup. Well, Pique, let me tell you, you're Barcelona. You're earning millions. We are the team that pays the most in wages, and as a fan, and I think all of us should demand that at least every player's first priority, other than family and life itself, should be Barcelona. The first main priority as a professional should be Barcelona. Every other activity, it can go to the side. Because if you're not committed to give 100%, then let me tell you, go and retire to China, to Japan, to Qatar, to the US, to the MLS. But don't be a Barcelona with that mentality. Because what is the example that you're setting for the youngsters that we're bringing in? Dembélé, Artur, Frenkie de Jong, Todibo, Junior Firpo. The example that you're setting for the Ansu Fati, the example that you're setting for them is, hey, we are so good. We are a team of fantastic players. Everyone loves us. We have so much money. We get to do whatever we want, right? We win most of our games by training with minimum effort. Why should we try harder, right? Well, if you don't want to train 100%, you have to go. And it is very worrying to me that this mentality is going to be setting in more and more and more and more, to the point where maybe it's already being contagious. But let's say that to the point that one day Messi gets this, and then one day says, I should probably, who cares about if I have to do, I've been doing that all vegetable diet for a long time, and I've not been getting those recurrent injuries that I was getting before. And when I stopped it, injuries come pretty soon after that. But let's try to alter things a bit and not do the things that let's not do a hassle. I've already won a lot. Everyone loves me. Things like this. And let's say that Messi starts doing those kind of things. Well, my opinion on what's gonna happen is that that's the last time we're gonna have a Messi 100%. Messi's not gonna be able to be Messi anymore. Because one thing that separates Messi and Ronaldo from every other player, it's that they are competitive winners. That they want to be at 100% every single day. That they want to win and win more. And if they start getting this idea that they can win by the last minute effort, up to that point we have great players like Messi. So before we ruin the youngsters, the other players around the squad, Pique needs to leave. And the thing that really annoys me is that we had a chance to sign Matthias de Ligt. We had the chance to bring him to Barcelona, but we couldn't bring him because in comparison to Frenkie de Jong, who it's obvious that the only reason that he came to Barcelona is that we convinced him that he was going to play a lot of minutes, because he was about to go to PSG because they guarantee him more money and minutes. Because, De Ligt, we cannot guarantee him minutes because there's Pique in front of him, and Pique is going to play it all because he's played every single minute that Pique has been able to play. He's played it all. And I don't know why he's been playing it all. He shouldn't be playing it all. I don't know where this idea, and this is Bartomeu, this is your fault. Valverde, this is your fault. I know that they're not the ultimate enforcers of this, but you have way to take the decisions that you have to take, and you decided not to take them. and it's costing us right now because we're seeing a Barcelona with a low amount of intensity that if we are to face Manchester City or Liverpool, we would get utterly obliterated. If you told me that Barcelona in 2 legs lost in an aggregate of 10-0, I believe you. I believe you. Because we play nothing. We don't play the same sport as those 2 teams. We play something completely different. And that is because we're playing with no intensity. Because we're training with no intensity. Because I'm pretty sure that our trainings are just, rondos and a few games, maybe a few shooting practices, and pass and move a little bit, things like that. We're not playing intensity. We're not training as hard as possible. This is unbelievable. And Pique wants to be a future president of the club. Well, let me tell you, if you're gonna be honestly, for a lot of years I thought, hey, Xavi as manager, Messi, I don't know, talking to the youngsters, Busquets as second, as the assistant coach, Pique as the president, Puyol as the sporting director. All of that sound very nice to me. But right now, Pique as far away from the club as possible, because he's literally destroying the club. And it's not only that, he probably got this idea from Ibrahimovic, where he said, where in his book he said, literally in the first chapter, that the players look like kids from school patio. And yes, every professional player should look like a kid from school patio that listens to the orders of the coach. Bernardo Silva, in not a despective way, but on a kind of funny way, will say that Guardiola trains him to the butt, that he's a pain in the ass. And he said it like in a nice way, because, and that is true. The coach is not there to be your friend, and the coach is not there to make your life easy for you. Your coach is supposed to be able to be a pain in the butt, so you're able to get the best out of yourself. So you're able to contribute the most to the team. And if you don't want to contribute the most to the team, then I don't want your Barcelona anywhere else but Barcelona. If Dembele all of a sudden, I will have more patience with the youngsters, because they're, after all, players are 18, 22, things like that. They're at the end of the day, they're teenagers. They're just starting to live, and I can understand that things like this get to their head. But if you're gonna get through to them, they have to be gone, because we have more than enough. There is more players out there in the world that could fulfill what we need in terms of roles. Maybe not the same quality, but not that far away. Other than Messi, there's not a player that we have in a Barcelona team that is not replaceable in some way by someone else that exists in world football that is available for signing right now. For example, if Luis Enrique all of a sudden came, and we are going to give him all the power, and we're going to give him the trust to do whatever he wants, and he asked to all of a sudden sell Pique, Sergio Roberto, Rakitic, Busquets, Alba, Suarez, and Messi. If Luis Enrique said that, and he explained the reasons, because he doesn't want a dressing room that's gonna, doubt his authority, that's gonna challenge his authority, then I'll do it. As a sporting director and as a president of the club, those are arguments more than convincing to kick all those players out of the club, or at least transfer them out. Talk to them, tell them, hey, for this and this and this, you are no longer in our plans, and you can go, you should look for another club to join. And I'm sure that to replace them in the forward line, for example, Kylian Mbappé, Aubameyang, Lautaro Martinez, Daniel Malen, I don't know, there's Sterling, Sané, Coman, Gnabry, Heung-min Son. There's more than abundance of players in every position. De Ligt, Skriniar, Unai Núñez, Jonathan Tah, Davies and Sanchez. There's an abundance of players. Sandro Tonali, Youssef Attal. There's an abundance of players in every single position for us to choose from. Are we gonna be better or worse? Well, in terms of the quality, maybe a bit worse. But in terms of what the team is actually able to work with, will be miles better, because those players are going to be motivated to give 100%. And if they don't, we find players that will give 100%, that will follow the orders of the coach, that will dedicate all that they have to Barcelona. On our most successful cycles, when the players say, and just to tell you an example, why did you think that Guardiola chose to kick out Deco and Ronaldinho? Ronaldinho, that I believe was about 28 years old. Not old by any means. Because they were players that were toxic in the dressing room, and that if they let them on with the youngsters, with the likes of Messi, with the likes of Puyol, or like Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, all these kind of players, well, they were going to start acting in the ways that they were not supposed to, and start destroying the club. And that was something that was going to happen eventually. That's why Guardiola recognized the threat and chose to kick them out. Touré, more of the same. Samuel Eto'o, more of the same. Ibrahimovic. Any player that was going to be toxic to the dressing room, he identified it very calmly, very silently, but took them out of the squad. Because he understood what a threat that represented for the team. And this is what I have to say about it. Maybe I've been too dramatic. I don't know. Maybe. I don't think so. I think that what I said is... This is a bit honestly that I could be talking here for a long time, but I don't want to bore you guys with half an hour of a video to an hour. Like, this honestly is something I would like to go in depth with. Probably I could make another video if this gets a lot of likes. Leave me like if you want to hear more about this. But basically, highlighting what this video has been about is Pique cannot be at this club anymore. Recognize that you're doing something like this. It's not acceptable. It's unacceptable. That Rakitic also has all the freedom in the world in the summer to say that my position is busy, that my position is occupied. All these kind of things that we are seeing are things that these players 5 years ago, 10 years ago would have never said in their life. And because they've won titles and are important for the club doesn't mean that they get to do it now. But with that said and done, leave me your opinions about this situation. What do you think needs to happen to Pique? Do you think there should be any repercussions? Do you think he should stay? Do you think that's not a big deal? Leave me all your opinions in the comment section below. Comment, like and subscribe. And I'll see you next one, Blaugranas.